All right, today we are going to crack the code on two math concepts that you'd be surprised you actually use all the time: area and perimeter. Yeah, I know, they sound like something straight out of a dusty old textbook, but they're seriously the key to solving a ton of real-world problems. So let's break them down and make them super simple, clear, and actually useful.
Have you ever been there? You're in the middle of some project at home, staring at a room or a garden, and you just feel completely stuck? You're just wondering, how much stuff do I actually need to buy?
You know, maybe you're trying to buy the right amount of paint for a wall, or you're trying to figure out if that new rug is actually going to fit in your living room. Or maybe you're outside, calculating how much fencing you need for a new garden. Believe it or not, these are all problems that totally depend on understanding area and perimeter.
Okay, first up, let's talk perimeter. And honestly, the easiest way to think about it is this: you're just walking the line.
The official definition is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. The perimeter is just the total length of the outline of a shape. Just imagine you're tracing the very edge of something with your finger. Well, the distance your finger travels, that's the perimeter.
This football field analogy makes it totally crystal clear. If you were to run a lap right on the white boundary line of the field, the total distance you covered, that's the perimeter. It's all about that outer boundary.
Okay, so if perimeter is the boundary, what's its partner in crime? Well, that would be area. An area is all about covering the surface.
So area measures the space inside a 2D shape. See, it's not about the outline, it's all about how much surface the shape actually covers. Like how many little 1x1 squares could you physically fit inside of it?
Let's go back to that football field for a second, because it's perfect for seeing the difference. The perimeter, remember, was the white line around the field. The area, though, is the entire green turf inside those lines, the whole playing surface. Same field, but two totally different measurements.
So we know what they are, but how do we actually calculate them? Well, this is where a few simple formulas come in handy, turning the idea into a real calculation.
Let's just take a basic rectangle to see how this works. The formula for its perimeter is pretty easy: 2 times the length plus the width. So for a rectangle that's, say, 7 inches long and 4 inches wide, we just pop in the numbers. We add 7 and 4, which gives us 11, then we multiply that by 2, and we get...
And boom! There's our answer, 22 inches. That's the total distance all the way around our rectangle. Simple as that.
Now for area, the big thing to remember is that the formula changes depending on the shape. For a simple rectangle, it's just length times width. Easy. But for a circle, you gotta use pi times the radius squared. And for a triangle, it's 1/2 the base times the height. So this chart right here, this is your go-to guide for all the common shapes.
And this is exactly what it looks like when you actually put these formulas to work. On the left, you can see someone calculating the area of a square. And on the right, a trapezoid, which has its own unique formula. But the process is always the same. You figure out the shape, you grab the right formula from our little chart, and you plug in the measurements.
Okay, this brings us to the most common mix-up. Let's put area and perimeter head-to-head, right now, to make the difference so clear you'll never forget it.
If you remember only one thing, make it this. Perimeter is the distance around a shape, and it's measured in simple linear units like inches or feet. Area is the space inside a shape, and it's measured in square units like square inches or square feet. One is a line, the other is a surface.
And hey, just to take it one step further, let's quickly talk about volume. So if area is like the carpet on your floor, a flat 2D surface, then volume is the entire space inside the room, from the floor all the way up to the ceiling. It's the difference between a rug and all the air in the room you have to heat or cool.
So let's lock this in one last time. Perimeter is the outline. Area is the space inside. The formula you use for area is always going to change based on the shape. And please, please, please always check your units. That little 2 for squared is the difference between measuring a line and measuring a surface, and it makes all the difference in the world.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Just take a look around you. What's the area of the room you're in right now? You know what? You've got the tools to figure it out.